was just resiliency. We never stopped, we never gave up. Whenever we ran into a mistake, we just learned from it and moved forward.
Yeah. All right, thanks guys. Alrighty, so we're here in the Makers Lab with my mentor, Ron Daniels, and we're just going to ask a few questions about my entrepreneurial journey. So to start, Ron approached me kind of randomly and asked me to take up on this project, and I didn't think I would be where I am now, so do you have any input on that, Ron?
Well, I always like it when science students come by and check out the Maker Lab and try to make something. It's a new experience for a lot of them, and most of them wind up enjoying it and getting a little hooked on it. And at the same time, I promised a water treatment plant to the Waterloo Public Library, and I hadn't started it yet, so I really needed some help.
Right, so it's kind of taken me a lot longer than I expected to finish my project, and I think that everybody here in the Makers Lab's noticed that. But I think that's something that comes a part of having a successful prototype in business. Do you have anything to say about my business model plan?
Well, in terms of product development is always going to take you longer than you think it's going to take. You're going to run into technical problems, you're going to run into setbacks, you're going to run into logistical problems. Like you go to put something together and you're out of stock of that part, and you phone your supplier and they're on a 2-week back order. These things happen, and we need to plan for them. We want to get things done quickly, but we also need to not paint ourselves in too big a corner. Julia has done a good job that way. We haven't run into too many snags. It's just a matter of when she could fit it with her academic schedule and her work schedule to come in and progress the project.
Awesome, thank you. And me and Ron are on opposite schedules, right? So we're pretty conflicted with time in the lab, but I think that's what might have held me back a little bit. And any failures that we want to highlight that's put us here where we are?
Nothing that I would say is out of the ordinary. We're doing a very deep vacuum form on the new version here, and deep vacuum forms are difficult. There's a lot of stretching that the plastic has to stretch a lot for them to do it, and it takes a few tries to get it. And we generally get it on the second or third try, which is, it seems like a failure, but that's actually pretty successful for something when you're experimenting with it and doing prototyping as opposed to full production, where that would be a very unacceptable scrap rate.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've progressed well. We went from this, which cost a fair bit of money to make and took a fair bit of laser time, to this, which once the tool was made on the 3D printer, doesn't take very long to make more copies of and doesn't cost very much money. So we're certainly progressing towards the ultimate business model, which is to make this thing very cost effective so it can be put into houses where people don't have access to clean drinking water.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.